What is up, everybody? I'm back. I hope you all are doing good. I got my co-host Nick with me from the Occult Regis. Nick, tell him what is coming up, hopefully.
What is going on, sir? First off, it is amazing to see you back on. It's been a while. I was going through my headless withdrawals over here. I'm starting to get a headache every day. It's like not drinking coffee anymore. It's great to see you back, and thank you for having me on. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, for one, I'm very excited to say that the Occult Rejects will be covering a topic ourselves again. It's been a minute. It's Saturday. It's Saturday night. We got Thomas Sheridan Saturday also, but we might possibly have Ashton Forbes coming on. So keep an eye out for that Saturday, possibly at 11 o'clock. He's already said yes. I'm just waiting to get stiffed and change my mind. Something came up, but fingers crossed, Ashton Forbes will be on.
Hell yeah.
Everybody can call me Controlled Op after he comes on now. It's like if I was to show you my DMs with this motherfucker, you'd know I'm not Controlled Op. I pretty much told him I ain't begging like a bitch anymore, dude. Pretty much said that. I was like, I'm begging at this point. Come on the fucking show, guys. Yeah, so fingers crossed. It should be a good time, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Absolutely, I am too. I think Ashton kind of represents sort of like this new wave of conspiracy investigators that has a tight grip on this one specific area of teleportation, and it really hasn't been covered by a lot of people. So anything he's got to say about it could cross-reference dozens or thousands of other patents that may have something to do with it.
Well, that was even something I had told him when I asked him, when he asked, like, what do you want to talk about? There was a lot of stuff he did at the Cosmic Summit. I don't think he's kind of touched on, but not as in depth as he has on his own show at the Cosmic Summit. He went into a lot of patents, showing the patents that the government has and what the fuck this shit does. And you're like, dude, like, we ain't got a fucking shot. Like, this shit is crazy. So I was even looking forward to that. I mean, I did even tell him he wanted to know, like, why to come on the show and this and that. I said, I know you're not into the magic or the occult that much, and it kind of freaks you out. I said, but I think a lot of the stuff that you can show and some of the patents of the technology, in my opinion, my listeners would really dig it, because I think it's kind of showing almost like grand scale of magic being done, or it's like almost replicating it. So I am looking forward to getting the guy on if he says yes. If he shows up. He has said yes. But if you see a live go up tomorrow with him on it, then you know it's good to go.
Hell yeah.
And if he doesn't show up, go check Twitter out, because I'm sure I'll be slinging shit at
him. You hear that, people? You got to retweet. We got to make that much bigger. So
we get any mail or what?
Symbol.
Oh, okay. Did I fuck you up?
We're gonna do with the symbols first.
Okay, all right.
So let's do your symbol, and then we'll go over my symbol.
All right. So the symbol I do have, if you're a long time listener, you probably have seen it before. I have showed it. We have covered it on the Occult Rejects. It was it's an engraving that was done by, that you can find in Heinrich Kuhnroth's book, The Amphitheater. We have covered that with Heinrich Kuhnroth. This one is called the Cosmic Rose. And it was also done, the engraver. And, I think it is sometimes interesting to mention the engravers, because my opinion, I do question the engravers if they are understanding of what they're even making. And I think some of them do. So I think some of them may be occultists themselves. And the engraver was Paulus Van der Dort of Antwerp. I'm just throwing that in there. And it's considered the Cosmic Rose. It has, it's considered to be, a scheme of Christian Kabbalah. Right here on the plate, you will see the plate is a circular mandala, as you can see. The central cruciform figure is supposed to be Christ triumphant, encircled by Latin motto, in hoc signo vinces, if I'm even saying that correctly. Then you even have Hebrew divine names. Immediately around the cross appear the pentagrammatron, which is Yahshua. Put it that way. Instead of Yad-Heh-Vav-Heh, it would be Yeshua. And that's throwing Jesus in there. And other forms of the Tetragrammaton. Then you have the triangle tetractys. Is that how you say it again, buddy? I know you're big with that word. I think you've covered that before, haven't you, actually? Let me make it a little bit bigger.
Well, the tet would be 5, so it would be the 5-letter name, which is Jesus's name. The Yod He Vav He is Jesus's father, and then he's the Tetractys, which would be Yeshua, with that little shin in the middle.
Yeah. That's even. I remember I had learned that in the Golden Dawn actually uses that when you do one of their rituals for like cleansing. They actually use the Yeshua instead of Yad-Heh-Vav-Heh. Just figured I'd throw that in.
And there's treatises on Christian Kabbalah talking about how Jesus is the completion of the Yod He Vav He formula. So there is that sort of interplay between Christian Kabbalah and Hebrew Kabbalah.
Yeah. But all right, let me get back to the symbolism real quick, just to mention some of the things, and I'll end this one. I'm not going to go too crazy into this, but again, you have the victory of Christ as the operative logos, initiating the alchemical mystical ascent. Got him in the middle. Then we do have the fusion of the Hebrew tetragrammaton with the Hebrew letter Shin, like we were just talking about, proclaiming Jesus as a fulfillment of the divine name, and that was kind of a standard thing in Christian Kabbalah, obviously Christ. Then we have the tetragrammaton again in the Tractatus, and that's kind of like Pythagorean and Kabbalistic numerology. You got 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 = 10, that type of shit. And it's showing procession of the name into creation and return to unity. There is kind of like, in my opinion, I think it's also showing the 10 emanations mapped to Christian virtues and doctrines on there. There is even Mosaic law as enclosing hedge on there. And the rose. The rose is extremely, I think, extremely occult. The Rosicrucians use it. I mean, I have my own ideas on what that symbolizes, but all right. That's about it.
Well, that's very interesting. I liked it. It's got a quality to it that is not entirely sort of the elemental alchemy. It's sort of like incorporating a lot of the Trinitarian alchemy, the salt, sulfur, and mercury idea, and the primary or primordial sort of state, So
I think
there's
even
something
once
to it.
when you start getting into like specifically more Christian Kabbalah, it's gonna have its own different type of look and certain thing. Like again, it's the instead of Yad-Heh-Vav-Heh, it's got Yeshua in there, throwing the Christian Christ in.
Well, the shin itself has the 3 prongs, right? And the 3 flames on top of the 3 prongs. This Trinitarian notion is sort of like supplanting or overcoming that singular notion of the one. And so you've got this Trinitarian aspect that is more pronounced in Christian Kabbalah as opposed to the, single aspect of Hebrew Kabbalah, that single emanation. So I have a little bit alternative timeline kind of symbol here. So this is what they wanted as the original Washington Monument. And just take note of these different ideas here. The colonnade around the bottom, dulled point, more like a column from the middle. And so this is supposed to be on the lawn. And there's a couple other variations. Like this one has the triple terrace at the bottom going around in a square shape. And again, this one's far more of the obelisk that we know in the middle, but still with the colonnade around the outside. So these are kind of what they wanted to do, but then they sort of scrapped it at the last minute and stuck with just the obelisk. It's funny because looking at that, it reminded me of this one right here. This is the Washington Monument in Baltimore. This is like the nicest part of their city right there. All of those little, yeah, it's like total garbage outside of this area, but this is the nicest part of Baltimore by far. And so they've got this beautiful neighborhood, very old church. This is like the authentic Baltimore neighborhood. And it's got this George Washington on a column with that sort of mausoleum type colonnade turned into a more of a boxy shape. Now, this and the Washington Monument were kind of built at the same time. So I don't know if maybe there was an artistic conflict between the guy who made this and the guy who made the Washington Monument, but that column, you can't really see it. It's made out of a bundle of sticks. So he's standing on top of a fasci, which is really interesting because, you've got that very Roman symbol, and he's depicted here as more of a younger man, but obviously you still got a lot of that George Washington quality from that monument into the original plans for the Washington Monument. And I think the Washington Monument is one of the most important symbols for the occult elite in America. If you know the stories about Osiris and Isis, and if you know about what the Washington Monument looks like from the sky, there's a two intersecting circles underneath in the trails, right? And so inside of the middle, it's the Vesica Pisces. And the Vesica Pisces is also a symbol for the vagina. So you've got the lingam and the yoni right there on the Capitol Mall, right in front of a big pregnant Capitol building, supposed to look like the belly of Isis. And these two things line up on clear days. You can see how the two really do interact with each other architecturally. And there is the added bonus of having a cyclical alignment that happens where the shadow will cast across the Capitol building during certain times of the year. So it's very ancient Egyptian sex magic type stuff going on with that Washington Monument. So where they put it at and how it interacts with the rest of the buildings really does have occult significance. And for them to change it this drastically, I think there would have to be a lot of input from the magicians
Oh,
who
I think
designed
so.
it.
Yeah. Or people who understand what's going on with it for sure.
Right. And so the guy who was kind of in charge, well, back then they used to debate about these things on the floor of the Congress. So the guy in charge of the monuments project was Jefferson Davis, and he was very involved in the artwork going on at the Capitol building because the Statue of Freedom that sits on top of the Capitol dome was supposed to have a Phrygian cap representing the freed slave. And that was immediately nixed by Jefferson Davis, who was the first president of the Confederate States of America. He said, we're not going to talk about freeing the slaves. You're not going to put the symbol for freed slaves on top of the Statue of Liberty or Statue of Freedom on top of the U.S. Capitol building. So he nixed that, and they went with a much more Native American motif of the same goddess, this Diana character. So I think they knew what the hell they were doing, and it's pretty obvious by the deliberate choices of architecture in Washington D.C. Alternative history, I mean, you can kind of see how that would fit and how that would impact the way they do their magic in Washington. So they went with a much more Egyptian motif as opposed to a Greco-Egyptian motif, which I think is kind of interesting. They stuck with a much more stripped down bare obelisk. What are your thoughts on that?
The reason why they changed it. The obelisk. My opinion on those things, I actually think that some of them might actually. I know it sounds crazy. I do think it has something to do with possible like energy. So changing it. I would think it all probably has to go along with making whatever it's supposed to do work right. Or you know what? I haven't looked at it in a while, but like the overhead view might make sense too as well.
Right, the overhead view, that's the one, because the Vesica Pisces in the trails around the bottom are unobstructed by that colonnade. So now you can see it. Now it's a perfect representation of sex magic right there on the mall of the Capitol. So that's why they changed it, I think. I mean, that's the most direct example.
Yeah, I think like if you kind of like looked at the whole situation, you'd probably see more of a reason why it was changed again
right?
for for
And
it
the
to do what it's supposed to do.
and the trails around the Capitol building are in the shape of a owl. So they were very much aware of these geoglyphs that they were making with these trails. And I think that, that kind of brings it together a little bit. You can kind of see that these were geomancers. They were doing stuff in the land towards the sky, kind of like the Nazca Plain. You know, they were going for something like that. They were talking to the sky gods. That's what you do when you're scribbling on the ground in massive geoglyphs, right? You're talking with the sky gods.
Somebody that can view down.
Right. I mean, look, we know the Society of the Cincinnati is a little bit of a ancient alien uh, cargo cult, right? So why wouldn't they be talking with the sky gods? Like that's part of their religion.
Yeah.
It's a deep part of their religion, but there it is.
Those motherfuckers show up in a lot of weird shit. Scientology, Mormonism, technically too.
Yeah, all over the place. I mean, you can say that Mormonism is like America's original religion because it got started here and it's just massive.
You don't think
Usually
people?
these
Oh, that's actually a really good point that you bring that up. That might have been actually more of a predominant religion in this country when it first formed than anything. You had the whole state. The feds went down there to go get rid of them, and they saw how many people they had in their army. They're like, yeah, we're going home. It's too much of a risk. Like, I think they showed up
absolutely
with like 60,000 troops, and the Mormons had 20,000. It was like they had like a third, and they didn't want to take a risk because like we could lose too many people. What if we lost
right.
half our troops over this war? We're fine.
They were a long way from home and they didn't want to disturb the peace because maybe these weirdos out there had a little bit something more in the bag than they knew about.
Probably.
But
Who knows what the true story was to go down there anyway? Yeah.
right.
It's like, oh, they got a free energy device. We can't be having that. Who knows? I do question that type of shit now. Is technology reasons why people just, invade other places.
And these Knights Templar keep talking about having one of these Arks of the Covenant. That could be coming out in the next couple of years. You never know. I mean, that would be right out of left field.
According to them, next year. You know what? And I've said this to a few people, and I even brought it up to Teresa, because me and her have covered, when we covered the St. Gallen Mafia, there was a letter that we wrote that was in between two Masons. I forgot who they were, talking about how you would kind of fuck the world up with a World War III and then, fuck religions up with something else. And when they were talking about how they would do it, because of just how I guess we've been pre-told that the alien psyop's going to come, So I'm thinking right. It's that, because they're saying that they're going to show something that's going to make like the idea of religions crumble, but then also give atheists and agnostics something to believe in, some sort of proof. So I'm like, oh, that's got to be a UFO. But then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, if you want to say that you found one of 6 arks and you got Jesus's bones, Mary Magdalene's, and the kids, I'm like, even though that goes along with Christianity, that still is fucking the game up. And now you're showing evidence to the agnostics and the atheists to believe in something. So I do wonder about that whole fucking thing.
See, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to make a prediction, right? What if the UFO coming to Earth that is going to destroy this place is then offset by the Ark of the Covenant that comes out and blasts it out of the sky?
Yo, I want to see this movie.
Me too.
I would actually be happy if this played out. I'd be like, yo, this is the best way for the world to go to crazy, turn to shit and go crazy.
Yeah, why not? Go out with a bang, take it all out with one big blast.
I'll just go live until it's over.
That's the ending we deserve. Thanks, Templar. Right. Do you hear me?
We want an alien invasion and the Ark at the same time, motherfuckers.
Right? Just roll it all out.
Bones somehow has got to come into play.
There we go. Jesus' bones like throwing lightning bolts or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's some crazy shit. How do we get all this in here at once? But it is
We
something
gotta
I
have
thought.
we gotta have the Blue Beam guys work with the Hollywood guys and get this script nailed out because that's the way to go. If you're gonna actually make this happen, you gotta have it. Everybody fist pumping.
Yeah,
Everybody fist pumping.
an alien invasion on the Ark of the Covenant.
This is the Godzilla versus King Kong that really gets everybody involved,
Oh, it's like
Why
really
not?
fuck everything up. To really fuck everything up, when they destroy the UFO, it's with the Nazis from Indiana Jones. So now you're like,
Oh,
oh, now we gotta thank the Nazis for saving us too. Fuck,
right,
just
right.
fuck up.
Just confuse everybody. Just left field fucking
Yeah.
home runs every day. Oh man.
Might be thanking the Nazis.
Hey, you know what? We've got guests who give lessons to the Freemasons about their own history. They better be listening to this shit too, because their whole satanic thing in pop music is not working. Like I don't
No,
know what they hope to get that out of that, but it is not working.
not anymore. I don't think at all.
No, people are just
I'm
like,
just like,
oh, there's
this
another
shit's
one.
trash. Yeah. This shit's trash, and it's kind of fucking silly now.
Right. Oh, now they've got a transgender Satanist. Oh, it's so weird. Give me a break.
Yeah.
It's worn out. You got to go with something else.
Yeah. Oh well, look at what's his face. You just who was that gay rapper? I mean, he even just like kind of like he's not even going on that anymore. Actually, if people were to go look at him, his next shtick was like I think he found Jesus or some shit. Believe it or not. And it's like it wasn't popular enough, so you don't even hear about the guy anymore. I can't
Right.
remember his name. What the fuck was that guy? Like we covered
I
him
don't
too.
know. He had that trashy country song that was also rap
Oh yeah.
with Billy Ray Cyrus, of all people.
Yeah. Well, Miley Cyrus's father. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Keeping it in the family or in the cult.
What a weird group, dude. How did we get these weirdos in charge? You'd think they'd at least have one normal person, but it seems like all of them are just fucking sickos.
Sometimes I even wonder too. It's just like, do they pick talented weirdos because they know they can even just fucking run them into the ground too? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of like the weird people just easily manipulated as well.
Right. Well, I mean, that's how you get weird people. They
Oh yeah,
breed them
maybe
in a laboratory.
they weren't weird yet. They were just easily influenced, and then you mind fucked them, and now they are weird. Yeah, you're right. Actually,
Right. Look at Justin Bieber. I mean, that guy is
you see him now shooting off his
out.
guns on Twitter and putting the videos up.
Right.
So it's like, yo,
I think he's trying to send a message.
I saw people say, like, is this what happens before he goes on a shooting?
Okay, so there's a thing going on with Justin Bieber in the background. He's got a gag order on him about the conflict he's having with his label. So he can't just come right out and say, I'm going to shoot you, motherfuckers. He's got to go to the shooting range on Twitter.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, it's like a way of talking shit back, probably. I'm sure. Yeah.
Right? Because he can't talk about it. He'll lose everything if he talks about it. These freaking NDAs, man, they're unbelievable.
Yeah. You'd be surprised with fucking how many NDAs there is. There's NDAs on, like, believe it or not, on summits, or like not summits, on like some of those conferences. You know that you can actually like possibly, like, let's say you're going to be a speaker or have something there, you might actually literally have to keep your mouth shut until they tell you you're allowed to tell people about it. It's crazy how it's like fucking NDAs everywhere. I've had a few people that were like telling me that they're trying to get in one of these things, and they're like, when I sign the NDA and I know like blah blah blah, I can let you know about it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm reading this in a text. Like, yo, this happens at fucking these things. I'm like, you got to sign an NDA to go talk about Bigfoot. You fucking shitting me?
Man, I'm telling you, people are so lawyer happy these days. It almost makes sense, NDAs, private arbitration, you got to do all that stuff because people are just unscrupulous and underhanded about everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not going to mention the guest, but there's a guest that I've had on. I'm going to have them on again. But like even in their email, their automatic response is almost like a NDA, like saying you can't really repeat what's being said in these emails. And I'm like, I happen to notice it. I'm like, yo, what the really? I was like, I never would have guessed. I don't know. It was just weird.
we are in the screenshot era. So
Oh yeah,
anytime,
yeah, I know that for sure.
yeah. So it kind of makes sense. I mean, you
You
never
know,
know who's got a vendetta, who's got an axe to grind.
the shit that I say like out on Twitter is 10 times worse than what I say in like conversation with people because of screenshots. I know better.
Right?
You'll see a nice and polite Nick in fucking text messaging, but
Yeah,
there's
man.
certain people that I've even known that like they want to show you screenshots all the time. It's like, all right, I don't have to fucking talk to you. Like,
I know about that.
yeah.
I know about that. Ah, it's sick. But
Yeah.
I mean, all these court cases, the first thing they bring up, screenshot, 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 every time, every time, and it means whatever they want it to mean, right?
Out of context.
Even if it is in context, if you don't have a person who agrees with you or likes you, it's automatically out of context.
Yeah.
Because that's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Context doesn't mean anything,
Yeah. Yeah, did we get
but
any you get any mail? No, fucking
zero,
guys, man.
zilch.
Fuck, I had
Okay.
something to send you and I never did and I can't find. I know you're like dick. It's in an
Yeah,
Instagram DM somewhere. I honestly figured you'd have something, and I was like, I'll just take you through that and do it next week. But yeah, somebody did send me something in the DM like when you first was computerless, so I forgot about it.
it's all right. But if you do have any experiences that you'd like to share with us so we can break them down and talk about them, headlessgiantpodcast@gmail.com. It is so simple. You don't have to ask. Headless Giant Podcast. You can see it at the bottom. I think I'm just going to have just those words go over and over and over again so people don't have any questions. Headless Giant Podcast at gmail.com. But thank you for coming on. This has been good to get back into it. And we're going to hit it hard tomorrow and the next day and all the rest of this shit. So,
yeah, tomorrow night we got to make
tuned
a
in.
weekend podcast coming on. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent you well, you're welcome to come anyway, but I sent you an invite. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that should be really interesting. Smart guy's got a lot of shit to talk about, so that should be cool. And then again, this weekend, it's Saturday. It's a banger of a day. Hopefully Ashton Forbes. Then we definitely got Thomas Sheridan, who's going to come on and talk about Druid Mounds for like an hour and 15 minutes. It's about all I could get out of the guy, but grateful. And then at night, we're covering hand symbolism, the occult rejects ourselves. So that should be really fun and exciting. So definitely check it out.
Absolutely. Hands are so important to magic, and hardly anybody ever talks about it because, I mean, ritual magic is all up here, right? It's very little about down here because it's all got to be taking place up here. But that's not all there is to magic, and the hand symbolism is very, very important. So when we get into that, it'll be inspiring and really insightful, I think.
We even have chakras on our. I mean, you want to get into it? We have chakras on our hands and our fingers.
Absolutely. I hope Ethan's going to be there because I know he would definitely go.
Yeah, no. He actually definitely is because he thought another show that I think yesterday he thought that was supposed to be the hand symbolism. I was like, no, that's Saturday, dude. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, I got some stuff for the show. I'm excited about that. So I know he does. So not to put him on the spot, I can show up.
I love it. But I think, in terms of like the two symbols of occult, it would have to be the eye and the hand. These two things together.
Oh, you even get that together with that fucking, what is that? The evil eye? Both together.
Right. It's right there. But those two things, that's sort of like that higher power kind of magical thing that I think people can really start to grasp hold of. Most of the time, people are like, why is this hand the evil eye thing? And it's like, you'll get it. You'll get it. Mm-hmm. But this has been a great episode. Thank you for the chat. 188 people. That's really good. So
nice.
We usually only go about half an hour, and it's right about that time. So Short and sweet. Hopefully, you guys stick around. We're going to have a bunch of lives this week, and thanks for joining us. Remember, Headless Giant Podcast at gmail.com.
Send them out.